It's Friday, the week is over, so I'm in sweats. What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video at JDH Aquatics where we talk about anything aquariums related. So I wanted to start this video off by quickly going over kind of my objectives for this channel. Part of the reason why I do these videos mainly is just to show you guys my tanks and talk about the reefing experience that I've had over the past few years. I try to be somewhat informational, even though I don't consider myself someone that even should be giving out advice like that. If I've experienced it, I try to talk about it and help other people out if they've had similar situations. And the last part of that is I like doing equipment reviews. So a big part of reef keeping for me as well is, of course, the coral and the fish, but I really like the equipment side of it too. So the lighting, the tanks themselves, the budget part of it, just all those different aspects of the equipment side. I love that. So part of this channel, I really wanted to do equipment reviews, and I have done that for some of the lighting that I run over these tanks, as well as the tanks themselves and a couple other pieces of equipment. But today we were sent a light from Hygger, so we're gonna do a quick review on the light and really give our honest opinions on it. The light was sent to me through one of their ambassadors, and it's a Reef LED. So let's jump into the unboxing. It's sitting right here under the 6-gallon Pico, which I think is the tank that we're gonna test the light on. We currently have the new K7 Mini over it right now, but we're gonna open up this light and see what it's all about. So here is the box that it comes in. It is a 32 watt single puck LED fixture. We're very familiar with these with the new K7 that's over the 6-gallon right now. Should be a similar spectrum and spread. Looks like we get some instructions there. Everything seems to be packed real nicely in here. We've got the power cables and a little box here, and then the light itself. Boom, there we go. So already off the bat, this light seems very similar to the new that was sent with the Reef Casa, and again, it looks somewhat similar to the new that's already on top of the 6-gallon, but let's go ahead and take the plastic off to really get a better look. So it's got this rubber gooseneck that's attached to, the clip that goes to the aquarium. And there you go. Pretty sleek design. It's about maybe 2.5 inches at the thickest point, but real skinny. You could probably fit that in some sort of hood if you wanted to try and hide it. But a better look at the LED clusters there. We'll have to read more on what color LEDs are in the cluster, but a good amount there. It looks like there's at least 12 there, 14, 16, maybe 16 different LEDs in there, but 32 watts, and nice little clip here, of course, for your all-in-one tanks. This probably works for rimmed as well, and then we've got a controller here. So there's no app for this, at least to my knowledge right now. I'm gonna read up more on it, but looks like you control it with these buttons here. Got a timer, power mode, and then whites and blues. So we'll have to play around with this. It looks like there's 2 color channels as well, whites and blues. But yeah, let's go ahead and plug it in. The light is turned on now. We've got 4 white LEDs, and it looks like we've got 8 of the blue there. But it's hard to tell. There's a middle row as well, but they're a different color, it looks like. So we've got those LEDs in the cluster. Nice ventilation on top. This is all mesh as well, so pretty cool there. Let's go ahead and kind of play around with the settings here. There's full whites, full blues, so definitely gets a lot brighter. That was on the lowest setting. Turn these guys all the way down. There we go. But that's pretty cool. That's a really nice light. I like the spectrum on that just from visual, but we'll have to see what it looks like over the 6-gallon. All right, we've got the new K7 Mini turned off, so we're gonna go ahead and turn on the Hygger light. Let's actually see, is there an exact name for this? It's just their Hygger saltwater coral light. So it's the HG100 32 watts. So this is gonna be 100% white, 100% blue. Oh, excuse me, let me turn on the power there. So we got, let me go up there. I don't know how many clicks it is, but that's 100% white over the tank. And that already alone looks really good with the Gorgonia right there. And then of course the mangroves up top. But let's go ahead and turn on the blues. Okay, so it looks like with the power mode, so we're learning as we go here. With the power mode, if you click it, there's 3 options. There's one power mode for the whites, one power mode for the blues, and then it looks like there's a channel for both of them. So if you're turning it on and not figuring out why your whites or blues are not working, you just have to click through the power modes to get to where it's both of the channels at the same time. So that's something we just learned about that, but we've got, I believe, about 100% whites and 100% blues. So that's, okay, yeah, so that's about 100% blues, and then about, whoop, keep clicking through it, about 100% whites right there. So pretty good looking spectrum. It's definitely better in person. On camera it's a little bit more blue than what it is in person, but even so I would be running this at a much wider spectrum, so something around there. But it is a very good looking light. I actually like how crisp it looks, and yeah, I'm liking this. Now, I'm not doing a comparison video between this and the new Psych or any other light, but this is actually a good competitor for some of the lights that are on the market that are in this realm. So the new Psych K7 Mini, as well as like the Aquanite, and I'm sure there's a couple others. You know, for an AI Prime, you're looking at like $270 brand new. This is about half the wattage, but this light is $70 on Amazon. So you can find the link in the description below if you guys are interested in it. I think for the lights that are on the market, this is a good competitor. Another thing that I am noticing about this light is that it does have a really wide spread on it, which for an aquarium like this, that's basically like a cube, even though it's really shallow, it gives out an even spread across the whole tank. And it may be a little bit higher than the new Psych is sitting, but even so, it's only maybe 2 inches higher. It's got a significantly more spread. And since this is a saltwater light, I think something that people are gonna be curious about is shimmer. And I'm sure you guys can tell on camera, but even in person with the whites turned on, the shimmer is really nice. It's almost giving like Kessel effect, but it's got a really nice shimmer to it. It looks very natural on the corals. And honestly, the more I'm filming it and looking at it in person, I'm liking this light even more. If you're a beginner or even an experienced aquarist, I think you could benefit from this light. It's at a good price point and it's got nice adjustability with the small little controller. And it's not too complicated. So again, if you're a beginner, it's only got 2 color channels. You can't really mess it up. I would put it at 50% white and 50% blue. And for me, like I said, if I'm running the Gorgonias in there with the little softies, I like it a little bit wider. And it's super simple. It's not very high wattage, so it's not going to take up too much power. But if you do need a little bit more light, I would suggest maybe getting 2. But there's very good spread on these, so that's another plus. There is a little timer on the controller there at the bottom. I haven't played around with it too much, but I kind of wish that companies would send just like a small wall timer that would essentially like a Christmas tree light timer where you can plug it in. I know they're real cheap. You can just go and get them at Home Depot, but if they sent something like that you could just essentially plug in with the power strip, that I feel like would make it much simpler than trying to integrate something that's a little gimmicky in the controller, rather than just, you know, a simple plug and play into the wall and then you can set the timer manually. I might actually keep this light on the tank. I think it looks really good with the spectrum, but considering that the new Psych has been growing coral and the coloration has been really good with the new Psych lights, I'm a little hesitant to switch over to anything else just because I've seen how the corals have been doing with the lights over the past year. But like I said, the spread is good. It's got the same wattage as the K7 Mini, I believe. The K7 Mini might have a little bit more wattage closer to the AI Prime, but again, it's got really good spread. What's in the tank doesn't need too much light to begin with, so I like the color of it. If the corals keep the same coloration and they seem to be doing good, then I think it's a good choice. I'll run it for a couple of weeks, and if I see discoloration in the corals, then I'll switch back over to the K7 Mini, but I think I am going to run this Hygger saltwater light. So let's go ahead and switch it over. This light's a little bit sleeker of a design, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see what that looks like. It's not much slimmer than the K7 Mini, but it definitely is by probably an inch or two. So we got to put this somewhere in the middle where it's going to be over the rock, but not hitting the mangroves, of course. So there it is, the 32 watt Hygger Reef LED. I'll have to give you guys an update in a few weeks on how the corals are responding to the light, but just off of looking at it, aesthetically it looks really good. Again, the spectrum's probably the biggest sell for this light, aside from the shimmer as well as the spread. Any downsides for this light, I can't really think of any, to be completely honest. It's a $70 32 watt light with adjustability on both channels, and there's not really much else to it, but it is a good light so far. It's got some nice ventilation on the top, and it's really sleek, so it's a good light on the market if you guys are interested in something that's budget friendly, but also going to give you a little bit of adjustability. This is a good option. And this is only recommended really for softies. I'm sure if you had a Nano tank, it's a 32 watt light, so do what you can with that wattage for LPS and SPS. But for the most part, this is going to be growing your softies, the Gorgonias, and possibly some LPS depending on how big your tank is and what kind of LPS it is. But you should be good just growing softies with this light, considering the wattage that it is. That is all I've got for you guys today. If you have any questions, then please leave it in the comments below, or you can DM me at my Instagram. The link is also in the description below. If you guys are interested in this light, then I will have the link in the description below as well. But yeah, I'm super excited to see how this thing does with the corals. As for the mangroves, we are thinking about doing a different lighting setup for them. But yeah, for now, this light's super sleek. I'd be interested to see how this thing looks over even a freshwater tank or just a different nano setup that has more coral in it. But for now, I really like it how it looks with the whites and the Gorgonias and the softies that are in there. We are planning on getting some macroalgae for this tank, so I think this light is going to be a really great option for those plants. But again, if you guys have any questions, then please leave it in the comments below. With all that being said, I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.